The NBA is a league where amazing happens, and where we can watch tall uber athletes do things that aren't possible for mere mortals. Among 450 NBA players, there are those who are called transcendent or once-in-a-generation athletes, or even unicorns, and who are even taller, faster, and more athletic than others. Here are the biggest freaks of nature currently in the NBA. Number 10. Ja Morant. Ja Morant exceeded lofty expectations and led the Memphis Grizzlies in both points and assists last season, and deservedly won Rookie of the Year. Defenses couldn't cope with his combination of speed and athleticism, but also poise and feel for the game. It's very rare that a player is that physically gifted on the ground in terms of running the floor and changing directions quickly, like some gazelle chased by a pack of lions. But then once he gets airborne, you can't believe that this 175-pounder can jump that high, and that he routinely attacks the rim, jumping from the free throw line, finishes through contact, and embarrasses people with his dunks. Ja almost murdered Kevin Love on a dunk attempt, and if Morant was able to pull that off, Love would be in conversation with other famous dunk victims, such as Frederick Weiss, Brandon Knight, or Patrick Ewing. Number 9. Kawhi Leonard. Before he was the fun guy and the Terminator, Kawhi Leonard was known as the Claw. He earned his nickname because of his enormous hands and impressive defensive performance on LeBron James in the 2014 NBA Finals, which also got him the Finals MVP trophy. Despite being only 6'7", Kawhi has one of the biggest hands in NBA history, along with an equally abnormal 7'3" wingspan. Kawhi's mitts are measured at 9.75 and 11.25 inches in length and span, and are 52% bigger than the hands of an average male. Jamal Murray learned this the hard way in the 2020 NBA playoffs, when Kawhi managed to block his dunk with just one finger. Number 8. Kevin Durant. Sometimes you come across special people, and it doesn't matter what you send to him. There's no scheme, there's no defense, there's no nothing, said Patrick Beverley after the 2019 series against the Warriors and Kevin Durant. Even though Beverley's defense was at its peskiest, Kevin Durant was unstoppable because he's a freak of nature combined with a phenomenal basketball skill set. There has never been a 6'11" player with a 7'5" wingspan who moved like KD and had the scoring ability of KD. He's a cheat code, a guard with the size and length of a center, and there is absolutely nothing you can do against a near 7-footer with long arms who can pull up from 30 feet like it's nothing. And even though Durant coined the term unicorn, he's actually a unicorn himself. Number 7. Tacko Fall. At the 2019 NBA Draft Combine, the 23-year-old center named Tacko Fall posted the highest marks ever for wingspan, 8 feet 2.25 inches, standing reach 10 feet 2.5 inches, and height with shoes 7 feet 7 inches. Despite the jaw-dropping measurements, Tacko didn't hear his name among the 60 players chosen in the draft. He then played in the Summer League for the Celtics, where he recorded 7.2 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks in an average of 12.6 minutes spent on the floor, and set the NBA Twitterverse on fire. Not so much because of the numbers, but because of his size and ability to dunk without jumping. Tacko won the crowds, but he also impressed the Celtics staff, who signed him to a 2-way contract. If he was born a few decades earlier, where there was no defensive 3-second rule, and the game was played inside the 3-point line, he would have been one of the best centers in the league, and easily won several Defensive Player of the Year awards. At that size, and with that pterodactyl wingspan, Tacko could have blocked the moon from shining, let alone an NBA player from scoring. But because centers today have to be extremely mobile and guard on the perimeter, this gentle giant will likely never play more than 10 to 15 minutes per game. Number 6. Anthony Davis. For the majority of his young life, Anthony Davis thought that he would be a basketball point guard, but then he grew from 6'2" to 6'11" between his sophomore and senior years in high school. He still played like a guard, but he was now the size of a center, which made him one of the most unique players in history. The speed in his legs and a great handle allowed him to blow by slower defenders and made him an elite pick-and-roll defender. His 7'6" wingspan clogs the space and deflects guards from the paint like a racket bouncing the ping-pong ball. His length and defensive instincts are in the rank of Hakeem Olajuwon. He blocks shots with both hands. He also resembles Kevin Garnett in the way he covers the space. He can cover one side of the floor by himself. It's like one man playing the zone, said Jim Boylan, the former Chicago Bulls head coach. Number 5. KRISTAPS Porzingis. With the New York Knickerbockers, KRISTAPS Porzingis went from being booed on draft night to the status of the franchise savior and the nickname Porzingod. He spent 2 full seasons in New York, and his third was interrupted by a severe knee injury that kept him off the floor for more than a year. This last season with the Mavs, Porzingis got hurt again, but when he was healthy, he proved why he has the potential to become a top 10 player in the league. It's really simple. You just can't defend dudes who are 7'3" and can shoot and dribble like guards. When his shot is falling, Porzy is borderline unstoppable and was a big reason why the Mavs had the best offense in league history last season. However, that's not all he does. KP is extremely mobile and athletic for his size, and is one of the best rim protectors in the league. With a 7'6" wingspan, Porzingis is averaging 2 blocks per game in his career. And because he can play both ends of the court at 7'3", Kevin Durant named him a unicorn. Number 4. Ben Simmons. When there is space, Ben Simmons dominates. With his 6'10", 230-pound athletic body, dribbling elegance, and passing ability, Simmons presents one of the most problematic mismatches in the NBA. His ability to run the floor coast to coast with 2 or 3 dribbles is shared only by Giannis and LeBron. Yes, he still can't shoot a lick, which becomes a problem in the playoffs. However, even without a jumper, he is a top 15 player in the league. Relentless in transition, robotically precise, and incredibly versatile. Defensively, Simmons is one of the few people in NBA history that can guard 1 through 5, and is usually assigned to guard the opposing team's best player. Simmons is agile, strong, and a smart defender, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins a Defensive Player of the Year award in the future. And if he does develop a jumper, he could easily be the MVP of the league. Number 3. Zion Williamson. What happens when 2 people who have won the genetic lottery have a child? Well, they often produce an athletic marvel, and Zion Williamson is the perfect example of it. His father, Lateef Williamson, was a defensive lineman in college, standing at 6'4" and weighing 260 pounds. His mother, Sharonda Sampson, was once a promising college sprinter. Their child became the most popular high school player since LeBron James because of the never-seen-before combination of size, strength, quickness, and verticality. Zion's vertical was measured at 45 inches at Duke, and his thunderous dunks became a must-see TV. Throughout NBA history, we've seen many aerodynamic flyers. But what makes Zion a special breed is that he flies while weighing almost 300 pounds. And even though he got injured before the season and played limited minutes in just 24 NBA games this last season, we've seen that the hype has been justified. Zion averaged 22.5 and 6.3 rebounds on 58% shooting, and already did things we haven't seen before. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody pushes off and moves Steven Adams so effortlessly. Like he's a 5'5" ballerina and not one of the strongest NBA players. What is even scarier is that Zion wasn't even in great shape, and that he didn't develop a jump shot yet. He got all his points by fighting in the post, in transition, and rolling after the pick and roll. If he's fully healthy and gets in the shape he had at Duke, I'll feel sorry for all the players who have to stand in front of him and stop him from scoring once he gets ahead of steam. Number 2. Giannis Antetokounmpo. When you're named the Greek Freak, you simply have to be on the biggest freaks of nature list. Giannis is a player who, even without a developed three-pointer, has become the most dominant force in the league in an era in which three-pointers are the main offensive weapon, which is mesmerizing. Giannis has incredible coordination with the ball in his hands, and together with an improved vision, he often plays the point guard position, which is a real rarity for a near 7-footer. His ability to attack and finish at the rim is unparalleled in today's NBA and resembles Shaquille O'Neal, who himself gladly compares Giannis to his glory days. But unlike Shaq, Giannis is also extremely mobile and switchable on defense. Explosiveness and lateral quickness allow him to easily pick up smaller players, and due to his incredible 7'3" wingspan and freakish athleticism, he's probably the best help defender in the NBA, which earned him the 2020 Depoy Award. During one possession, it's not unusual to see Giannis guard the opposing player, grab the rebound, and then rush violently toward the opposing basket, do a Euro step, and dunk in somebody's face. He's just that freaky. Number 1. LeBron James. LeBron is the best player in the game today. It's debatable, but it's the truth. The fact that he's still at the top at the age of 36 and in his 18th season is a miracle in itself. But even if we don't count in the age factor and look at just LeBron the player, he is still one of the biggest freaks of nature currently in the NBA. In his championship year with the Lakers, he was one of the best defenders at his position, who successfully guarded fast point guards like Jamal Murray, wing players like Jimmy Butler, and even switched onto the bigs like Jokic or Adebayo. On offense, he is still unstoppable when he gets ahead of steam, and is a matchup nightmare for opposing coaches. And even though he has clearly lost half a step of speed and half an inch on his vertical, the King is still an athletic demigod who firmly sits on the throne of the best player in the NBA. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as we put out videos like these every day. Let us know what you thought about this video in the comments, and would you put any other players on the list?